Of any graduation ceremony is the commencement address. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce you to today's commencement speaker, Dr. James Forster, a distinguished individual whose connection to our institution spans across generations. Dr. Forster earned his doctorate from Northeast College of Health Sciences forerunner, New York Chiropractic College in 1985, and was tutored by his father, the late Arnold Forster, one of the originators of applied kinesiology, who also graduated from a Northeast College forerunner, the Atlantic States College of Chiropractic, a college that went on to merge with Columbia Institute of Chiropractic that then became New York Chiropractic College. It is exciting to note that his son, Cal Forster, who is graduating today, graduates from Northeast College of Health Sciences Doctor of Chiropractic program and is the first third-generation chiropractor graduating from Northeast College, where each previous generation were alumni of a Northeast College forerunner by a different name. The reality is that each generation graduated from the same institution, whose history is contiguous, whose purpose is unwavering, and whose relevance as a leading institution of health and wellness has never waned. Dr. Forster is currently the owner of Forster Chiropractic, with 4 offices, 1 in Manhattan, 2 in Brooklyn, and 1 in Long Island. Dr. Forster also works to educate healthcare practitioners about the importance of integrative approach to determine both the root cause of each patient's condition and to identify the best collaborative treatment. After graduation, Dr. Forster went on to tour US and Europe as the personal chiropractor to the punk rock band, the Ramones. He also regularly speaks about the benefits of chiropractic and nutrition at healthcare and educational institutions across the country. Today's commencement ceremony holds a special significance as Dr. Forster stands before us not only as a successful doctor of chiropractic in his own right, but also as a proud parent, celebrating the graduation of his own child from his alma mater. With a unique perspective that blends personal history with a deep understanding of the transformative power of education, Dr. Forster is poised to inspire and guide our graduating class as they embark on their own journeys beyond our hallowed halls. Please join me in welcoming our commencement speaker, Dr. James Forster, to the podium.
Outstanding. Life is but a dream. Allow it to unfold and go where you're sent, which is not always so easy. I was in the office, I got a phone call, and the person on the other end said, "Can you meet me in Kennedy Airport tomorrow?" Yes. Packed my bag, I went to the airport, I met a crew, boarded a plane, and we went to Brixton, England. I went from the airport to the arena. They escorted me into a private dressing room, and I began working and started adjusting. And as I was adjusting and holding the patient's neck, I felt the floor start to move in the building. So I said, great, here I am. I came all the way to Europe to adjust someone, and there's an earthquake. What timing? It wasn't an earthquake. The floor started moving because there were thousands of fans that were chanting the Ramones chant, "Hey ho, let's go." So I was getting nervous, and I guess it was sensed. And that's when Joey Ramone turned around to me and said, "Relax, the fans will wait." So I recentered myself, and I did a great job. I sat him up, and security took him to the stage. They escorted me to a VIP section so I could watch the show safely. At the end of the show, Joey came backstage, And he found me, and he said, I have never felt better, and my voice was never better. Would you come to Greece and Germany with me? Okay. Because you got to go where you're sent. It's not always so easy. Well, this turned into 13 years of touring with the band. Of course, in that kind of a journey, you meet a lot of celebrities and a lot of influential people. And here's the craziest part of the story. I was in my 3rd year of practice. Do you get that? I was a beginner. I was a rookie. Was I even qualified for this? Do you think I had self-doubt? Does anyone in this room think I was in my comfort zone? When I graduated, I was 25. I was married, and I looked really young, and I was still getting proofed. I used to go into the treatment room to see the next patient, and some of them would say, when is the doctor coming in? I said, you're looking at him, go on your back. My son is also 25 and graduating today as 3rd generation to carry on the success and the succession of a 63-year-old chiropractic practice. My father graduated Atlantic States in 1960. 3 months later, I was born. Now, in those days, men did not go into delivery rooms like they do now. They waited in waiting rooms, and the doctor would come out, and they would tell you. So my father said he had a boy, and he was sitting with another man at that moment in the waiting room, and that man was Dr. Napolitano. Now, he was like a grandfather to me. So they looked at each other, and as the story went, the next Dr. Forster is born, and they were going to start grooming me for this position. Little did they know. Dr. Napolitano, I had a lot of time with in my childhood. He studied in Palmer, and he would tell me stories about how he would go on house calls with B.J. Palmer on horse and buggy. That's right, I was sitting and having meals and discussions in my entire childhood with the pioneers and the revolutionists of the field that you're entering into. I was there on the ground floor of it. Very deep roots in this profession that I am in love with. You are my extended family. Dr. Napolitano graduated the program at Palmer. He came to New York, became the dean of the college at Atlantic States, and then moved into presidency at the Columbia Institute of Chiropractic, and continues his presidency into the New York Chiropractic College era. My father was Dr. Napolitano's chiropractor. And I'm sure that Dr. Meston realizes what an honor the chiropractor who takes care of him feels. Because my father used to tell me what an honor it was to take care of this man's health. Tell you a little more about my dad. He was one of the greats. And I'll tell you that every class probably has one, maybe two, one of the greats. There are a lot of great chiropractors in this class, and I got to meet a lot of you because of my son. But there's only going to be one or two, one of the greats. And what made my father one of the greats is what makes anyone one of the greats, which is if you do things like everybody else, all your techniques, and you're adjusting, and you're successful, and everybody's feeling good, I mean, that's great, but you'll never be remembered. But if you do things different from everyone else, and the years go by and you were wrong, it's okay. No one will remember you. But if you do things very differently from everybody else, and all the naysayers, and decades go by of everybody putting you down, and in the end you were right, those are the doctors who become one of the greats. My father became that because he was relentless. If he knew a patient could respond to chiropractic care and they weren't responding, he would learn more disciplines. He went out and learned homeopathy, nutrition, acupuncture, whatever it took. He would go out and learn more chiropractic techniques, Pettibon, SOT. He graduated as an HIO practitioner, upper cervical only, and expanded into the widest scope that anybody could have because of his relentlessness to help people. He would not back down. He also did things very differently, and in the end, he was right. And along his journey, he introduced me to some amazing and influential people like Dr. George Goodhart, the father and founder of Applied Kinesiology. So I sat with these iconic chiropractic figures at dinner tables and family vacations throughout my childhood, not even knowing what world I was immersed in, but here we are. Me, how did I get here? No, my son was a big part of that. And I would tell you that when I was a teenager, I was a very rebellious kid. And I probably would have done anything to not be a chiropractor, in spite. But I'll tell you when it happened for me. We had a home office. And my father was adjusting a little newborn baby when I walked in the treatment room one day. And I watched him. And understand I was about 5 or 6 years old at this point. I was impressionable. Every car ride, every dinner table, every moment was chiropractic talk. At this point, I knew how to do leg length checks, palpate the spine, I knew basic anatomy. I was 5. And when I saw him holding that baby's head and doing a cranial adjustment, that's when I had my epiphany. That is when my personal light bulb went on, and I said, I do not want to follow in his footsteps like everybody was saying. I wanted to be his hands. And how do you become those hands? You become a chiropractor. And then you go treat babies. And I'm fortunate because I'm living my dream, because I went where I was sent, and my practice is full of little babies in diapers. So I am in my heaven on earth every single day in the office. I was first adjusted when I was 6 hours old. Show you how radical my dad was back in the 60s. And my children were adjusted at about 22 minutes old. So that's when chiropractic care should begin. I felt it my duty to actually give back to this world through the babies and make generations of healthier people so we could have a better world. That was my whole personal throw. So at this point, I'm about to give you doctors a bit of a reality check, kind of a slap in the face with love. You're going to go into practice and people, human beings, are going to come in with health concerns. Be present. They might be crying because they're in severe, acute pain. You have to calm them down, and you have to show them that you're confident enough to do what you have to do and give them the faith that your skills are up to par. And then right after that, and you will be running a little late because when people are in pain, they don't move around the table so fast. The next patient comes in, and it's 2 worried parents about their little baby because the baby's sick. And you have to show them confidence and faith that you know exactly what you're doing. And then at that moment, I get a phone call from the lab. One of my patients' hemoglobins dropped to 7, so I had to send them to a hospital for a transfusion. And then line 2 rang, and it was the radiologist calling me, telling me the x-ray was positive from my patient that fell off a ladder, and I had to make a referral for a broken bone to an orthopedist. And at that time, the phone rang again, and it was the school calling. One of my kids was having a problem. And now I'm running about 40 minutes late. And I got a waiting room full of people that are a little angry because they have schedules too. And I was brought up that an appointment is a promise. So if I'm running late, I'm wearing it heavy. That's what's going to happen. And you have to keep your head and take care of each person. I'm in practice about 40 years, so I'm entitled to give you some words of wisdom. Get your priorities straight. Now. Health, relationships, finances. They're all important because they're all on the list, but get them straight. The beauty is that our work is we get to help people with their health. That's everybody's number one priority in your journey of life. As the story unfolds, as you go where you're sent, you're helping people with their health. It doesn't really get more beautiful than that. Enthusiasm will attract cooperation. What you resist will persist, and whatever you fight, you will strengthen. So end the resistance and end the fight. And be the rebel chiropractor that you all are, because that's what our profession is full of. We can't go quietly as chiropractors. Everything is fragile. Please hear that. Everything is fragile. Your health, your relationships, your friendships, your practice. Caring, happiness, and gratitude is what will lead to patient retention. Reflect and project. Be a part of the solution, not the pollution. Pursue your dreams. Here's the important part, pay attention. Pursue your dreams and expect them to manifest. That's how they come true, people. You have to expect them. Love to learn and stay curious. Patience, diligence, and endurance will get you there. Keep reinventing yourselves in this world of infinite possibility. We don't live life in foresight, we attempt in understanding in hindsight. So row, row, row your boat. Do the work, get your hands dirty. Chiropractic is hard work that doesn't feel hard. Gently down the stream, that means with kindness and humility. Merrily, 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 merrily. Do it with happiness. Throw a smile on your face every day, and whatever's going on, leave it in the parking lot when you come in to help people. Life is but a dream. Dream on. Dream big. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you, Dr. Forster.